Hello children, welcome to the online EduClass session for class 6, chapter number 6, changes around us. In this part of video, we will discuss the changes in which heat is generated or absorbed. From where do we get this heat? We get this heat from the surroundings for our chemical reactions. Mostly the reactions in which the heat is generated, they undergo some type of chemical reactions. So an exothermic change is a change in which energy is released to the surroundings. Like when the wood burns, it releases energy and it converts into ashes. Burning of wood is also an irreversible change. Once wood is burned, it changes to ash and we cannot get back the wood again. Sometimes objects get hot but do not change in any way, or some objects get hot and also expand in size, or some objects get hot and begin to burn, or some objects get hot and change their state. Like water, if ice is melted, it is it is absorbing some energy and it is converting into water. Then opposite to exothermic is endothermic change. In endothermic change, the energy is absorbed from the surroundings. As when we dissolve glucose in water, the container starts to feel cool. Why so? Because glucose absorbs energy from the surrounding. Right? Now, let's come to a little applied part of this. When we are expanding and contracting the materials for our application purpose. If I want to fix a metal rim on a wooden wheel of a cart, as it is required for the support to the wooden wheel, wood is not so tough that it will carry all over the load. It requires a little support which is supplied by the metal rim over that wooden cart. So if I want to fix it up, then how I will fix it? For this, we first heat the rim to burning hot condition. When it gets heated to red hot, it expands, because whenever anything is heated, it expands, and so does the rim also. Rim increases in size and we fit it over the wheel and then dip it into the cold water. Then it contracts over the wheel itself and fits firmly over the wheel. Now we can use it to move. In this, there are two processes taking place, that is expansion and contraction. Both are opposite and mostly reversible as well. Expansion means increase in size of an object by heating or other external factors. Contraction means decrease in size of an object by cooling or other external factors. While making agricultural tools also, the metal ring is heated before fixing the wooden handle. Okay, this is also following the same procedure, same processes of expansion and contraction. On heating, the metal ring expands, and when the ring becomes bigger in size, the wooden handle fixes easily. When the metal ring cools, it contracts and handle fits in tightly. Same is the case with railway tracks. When the sun rays fall on the iron rail track, they get heated up and expand. As the metals expand on heating and contracting, on cooling, so at night when they cool down, they contract. That is why we always find a gap between the rail tracks. These gaps are called expansion gaps. These gaps allow the rails to expand in hot weather. If there are no gaps or the gaps are too small, the lines can bend and there may be a big accident of railways. Okay? The fact that metals expand on heating is used in thermometers as well. In many thermometers, mercury is used. When the bulb of thermometer comes in contact with a hot object, the mercury expands and its level also rises in the glass tube, indicating the temperature of the container. Amount of expansion is directly related to the temperature of the object in which it is dipped. Also, if we melt other metals, we can mold them into various useful shapes for the utility purpose. Actually, melting is the process by which a substance changes from solid phase to liquid phase. It is also known as fusion. Melting occurs when the internal energy of the solid is increased, usually through application of heat or pressure. Like molecules becomes less ordered or less aligned, you can say the molecules are disturbed due to heating. And on contrary, opposite of melting is solidification, which is just reverse of melting. And so by definition we can say that melted metal is solidified and to frame different shapes. When we apply force to an object, we can change its shape, size, air can be compressed. Okay, metals can be hammered into thin sheets, elastic can be stretched, and cotton can be spun into threads. That we have already discussed in chapter of fiber to fabric. There also we were applying some pressure to make the threads out of fibers. Yeah. A blacksmith changes a piece of iron into different tools. For that, a piece of iron is heated to red hot condition. This also softens it. It is then beaten into desired shapes, and I can say over here that it is a reversible change. If any iron object is broken and you find it damaged and in a scrap yard, you can take it to the blacksmith and you can convert it into a utility item again, because it is completely a reversible change. You can melt it, remold it, again melt it and again remold it, and it occurs by the process of heating and molding, where we don't melt it completely but soften it and beat them into desired shapes. Now, while making roads, now we use cements in place of coal tar, because for conservation of our renewable and non-renewable fossil resources, we use cements also. So, when the cement is wet, it can be set so many times, but once it is set and hardened, it becomes irreversible. And so does the plaster of Paris also. Once framed, we cannot reframe it after drying. Cement and plaster of Paris both. So children, this is all for today's video. We have learned different changes, which means to be original, along with framing, reframing, changes and modifications. So be yourself, enrich yourself and let the learning go on. Thank you.